Welcome to the Football Rig, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we break it down. This is the after action review of the Premier League. Match week number 8. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss everything that happened during Premier League match week number 8. And we're going to talk about every single game for the big 6 teams. And this is something I'm going to keep doing. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned. It's gonna be a marvelous show. I'm not gonna start talking much about it. I'm happy about it. I'm actually ecstatic about this this week because Arsenal are on top of the league. We managed to do our job, and of course Liverpool lost their 3rd game in a row in the Premier League, and that's really good for Arsenal. And currently, there's a shift in my opinion, and we're going to talk about it after this after the breakdown of each game. I'm going to talk about it and say what I think and who do I think is going to be the league title contenders and who's the favorites to win the league. So let's get it started, man. The first game we're going to talk about is Nottingham Forest Chelsea. So Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 3. It was a game that got Ange Postecoglou sacked. Ange Postecoglou got sacked after this game. What happened in this game? What happened is, to be honest, Nottingham at the beginning of the game, they pressed, they had some attempts, some chances, but they couldn't really convert it to any goals, and it didn't really look so good for them. Chelsea managed to score from Ashimpong, brilliant header from him, across from Neto, and he managed to put it in the back of the net. And then a second goal came from Pedro, a foul, well taken by Pedro, smart way, and he did it. I mean, it was a bit easy, but the way he shot it across the goalkeeper, I think he didn't really anticipate it. So we'll give him that. We'll give him that he managed to, fool the goalkeeper, and he scored against Nottingham, the second goal. However, the game really didn't end there. Nottingham Forest were really unlucky. They had a couple of chances. They hit the bar a couple of times. They couldn't really convert the chances. They were not clinical enough. And unfortunately, James just killed the game with a bounce ball from a set piece around minute 83, I think. And he scored, and he placed it in the goal so easily. And from that, they just killed the game. They killed the game completely, and there was no comeback for Nottingham Forest. They looked so really, I would say, dead in the water, and they couldn't really capitalize on anything. And Ange looked so lost, and he got sacked after this game. But one thing that I will give as a negative point against Chelsea, I know they won for 3-0, and I know they got 3 points, but there are one point that I'm gonna press on and say it was negative from Chelsea and in this match, and it was the red card again. Red card again for Gusto, the second yellow card. He got it around minutes, I can't remember. It was the end of the game anyways. It didn't really impact the game whatsoever, but he got a red card and he got sent off. And this is becoming something, frequent, infrequent basis with Chelsea to see red cards. If the manager himself got a red card, and it tells the whole story here. I think they have a really disciplinary issues in the team, and it's gonna hurt them. It's gonna definitely hurt them in the long run, getting all these red cards, especially the first team players who are there. They are really good in Chelsea. If they keep getting those red cards, I think it's gonna bite them in the ass later on. So they need to show some discipline. They need to understand, there's no need for rash tackles. There's no need to commit such fouls that can, get you a yellow or even a red card. So Maresca has to work on, he needs to work on himself first, because a manager getting a red card, that's also an issue. But he needs to, calm and stay calm as a collective unit, as a team, and try not to receive as much yellow or red cards in the future, because it's really going to harm them. When it comes to availability of the players, you're going to find yourself going into the crunch of the Premier League and the congested period of time, and you have players that are out due to red cards. That's going to be a bad thing to say and see actually in Chelsea, and you will lose a lot of points because of that, because you're counting on certain individuals in your team, and if they are getting a red card, it's going to be a really tough one. Red cards are a concern for any team, and if you see an elevated trend, then there's something you need to address. I don't know what's going on, but the coach has to discuss those red cards that they are receiving. That's the only negative thing I got to say about Chelsea, to be honest. But in regards to the game, they've done brilliant. They scored their chances. Even you can see it from the stats, 14 shots, 52 possessions. So Chelsea really dominated the game. There's not much to say about the game whatsoever about Chelsea when it comes to the performance. I praise them for that performance, but the red card was an issue. The red card was the only small issue in my opinion. So that's all for Chelsea and Nottingham, and congratulations to Chelsea for the 3-0. I mean, it really helps them and motivates them to do even better. It gives the confidence in the team, and they are building that confidence slowly, especially after the Liverpool game where they smacked Liverpool 2-1. The next game I want to talk about, which I'm considering them to be now our main contenders. Our main contenders are Manchester City. Manchester City managed to win, and here we have my friend, my brother Zir. Welcome, Zir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome, salam wa rahmatullah, man. Welcome, Zir, man. Welcome. So, Zir, since you missed the first of all, welcome to the channel, bro. Since you missed a little bit of the beginning, I mentioned the game about Chelsea. I'm going to bring up the stats again. So the only thing that I said about Chelsea is they played very well. They scored 3-0, but I had an issue. Only one small negative thing I can comment about is the red card they received, which is becoming something really consistent with Chelsea. I mentioned it many times. It is the discipline and disciplinary issues that they have. Imagine even the manager got a red card. So you know where the problem is. I mean, that's the only negative thing I can find about Chelsea this game. As a performance, I have no comment whatsoever. They did brilliantly, and I think Nottingham Forest were really not, I would say, on the levels. They missed a lot of chances, and Ange Postecoglou got sacked. What do you think?
First of all, before I talk on Chelsea, I mean, I'm not shocked Ange got sacked. I did say that it's very weird that he got fired because different identity compared to Nuno. But anyway, with Chelsea, yeah, you're right, man. I mean, Chelsea have a good talented squad for the most part. I know defensively they could add a little bit more after the injuries and whatnot, but that's the problem. It's like they don't help themselves with the whole disciplinary situation because that alone is making things worse than it should be when you already have injuries on top of that. You know what I mean? So they need to be more calm. But then again, we do also have to remember, and to be fair, see, this is where I have to admit I was wrong. I should have considered that these guys, even though they may have done what they done in Club World Cup and they got trophy to by now, actually, this should be helping them build momentum to push forward, but the inexperience, man. Like, and I don't mean inexperience at the higher level. It's like some of them are showing. I don't know. They're a very weird bunch because usually when you win something, you shouldn't have the know-how. You know, you realistically should have a know-how on what you're doing, how to do it, blah 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 blah, what it takes to be a winner. But with these guys, al-asaf, it's like they're doing the opposite of what you should be doing when you have a know-how. You know, like seeing these type of things are gonna make certain fans think, well, just because you won this doesn't mean they still don't have experience. You know what I mean? And that is really not a good look for those that make an argument for winning trophies. But realistically speaking, I still think they have what it takes. They just need to be more mature.
You're not wrong there. I think also the defensive, lineup, I mean, they have, and the players they have missing in the defense also really hurt them so bad, like Colwell, and all these players. I think Colwell was a pillar in their defense, and their goalkeeper is not really that great. So I think that also contributes on why we're seeing a fluctuation, I would say, in their performances, and there's no consistency, because you have a very good midfield, you have a okay-ish front line, but your defense is quite poor. So that can really impact the overall performance of the team. But you're right, I agree with you. So that's all I mentioned about Chelsea is they have to really be more disciplined. Otherwise, those red cards are going to bite them in the ass because you might you might struggle with the availability of the players in the future. Because getting red cards and you need your players, and it's going to be a long season. So I think and you have a Champions League football, so you need everybody to be available, everybody to be fit. So you don't want to miss out on players because of red cards. I mean, it sounds really immature in my opinion. I mean, yes, you get red cards, but not. I never seen this kind of frequency, man. Every game you get one card. I mean,
That's what I mean. It's a whole maturity problem, bro. It's
yeah, man. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
like they
That's
for on a real note, they generally act like they are babies in the game the way they move. Like they need to fix up.
yes, and I totally agree. Yes, but anyways, if you have nothing to say about Chelsea, we can move on to City.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. This because I didn't watch.
Okay. So Chelsea, man, Chelsea won. City won 2-0 versus Everton. And if I can summarize it for you, in the first half, there was like a skirmishes between Everton and City, back and forth. Nothing really happened. I like the player number 10, Ndiaye, or I think his name is Ndiaye, man, from Everton. He was really, really good. He was dribbling like crazy. I mean, if you watch like the extended highlight, you can see, man, this guy is a good talent from Everton. However, in the second half, Haaland doing Haaland things. He scored 2 goals, and this guy, man, is a beast, man. And he missed also a hat trick at the end of the game. So Haaland literally just won the game by himself for me. So that's the summary from my side.
Bro, you see this Man City team, they may not be the most dangerous like they used to be, but one thing I will say is when it comes to Premier League, they are really cooking in silence, bro.
Do you think before you continue, Zero, I'm gonna ask you this question. I don't want you to be genuine. Do you think Manchester City is a one-man show?
As of right now, I wouldn't say one man. I'd say a few man show. Because I would say Rangers is another player. We can't act like
they're not performing recently. I mean, yes, I rate Ranger as a player, but if you look recently, man, Haaland is playing alone. He's scoring the goals. He's doing everything alone, bro.
Know, but he's still getting chances somewhat created for him. I know he's improved a little bit, but like for example, that goal that Haaland scored, one of them, O'Reilly made a good cross there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Which any fallback should be able to do, right? Any good fallback, I would say.
No. Okay, but my point is, like, Ignori got injured, and he's taken his place, and I think he's done okay so far. I'm not saying he's done amazing, of course, but there are a few players that's done something. Like, I think Reinder's been okay. I think, O'Reilly's done a job at left back. Obviously the center backs are shaky. I'm not gonna deny that. You know what I mean? Donnarumma has his good moments, in making stops. But there are players doing something. Foden looks a bit better than he did last season, but still needs to show more. Man said day 99 being world champ. Damn, yes. Oh, hey, big up Waffle, man. Big up Waffle.
Big up Waffle Dawn, bro. Big up, bro. Waffle Dawn in the building. Welcome, Salam.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's just with Man City.
They are a one-man show, man, recently. I don't know if you've been watching City, man, recently, but from very few. Okay, from what I've seen, man, I think they're a one-man show currently. Haaland is just running this club, and they're their superstar. And even without Rodri, even though we banter them as Rodri FC, but I think Haaland is just, he's a beast, man. He's a beast. And you can look at the stats, man. There's nothing really to mention. City kind of dominated, but overall, man, this guy, they were not speaking enough about this guy, man. I think he is the top scorer currently in the whole world. Not just because of the numbers that he's putting, but also the performances, man. The performances are crazy, man.
Top in the world?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Hey man, look, who else apart from Haaland, man? No, nobody's scoring there, man. If there was like Foden contributing,
Yeah,
if
but
there
you're
was like
talking Premier League. I mean, there are two players outside the Premier League that's doing as good, if not one, if some even better, bro.
yeah, I understand you're gonna
Mbappe
mention
and Harry
Kane,
Kane.
you
Hey,
mention
see
even
Waffle knows. Hey, I'm
Mbappe.
wearing fixture right now as
I
well.
totally agree, man. But I've seen those players as well. But man, I rate Haaland so highly, man.
Can I tell you why I think Harry Kane's been the best one? I'll
So
tell
you
why.
think Kane is currently better than Haaland?
Overall, yes. This guy, I want.
So
No,
if you're building a team, if you're building a team and you are offered those two options as your number 9,
25, 26 seasons so far, I'm putting Kane over Haaland, or I put both, or you put both. And let me
I
tell you
cannot
why.
agree with that. Even
No, no,
Waffle man. You're waffling, Waffle.
No, wait, don't, wait. I'm gonna explain. Wait. Here's the thing you need to understand, Sammy. Tamam. The thing is with
Okay.
Harry, I want you just to watch the Der Klassiker. That's the best example to why. This brother was not just in the right place to score goals. This guy was providing unreal passes to start these counterattacks. Okay, and on top of that, he made some last-inch tackles. This guy was all over the pitch, and he's been doing this for majority of the season so far. And by the way, in all competitions, I think he has the most goals.
Probably, but man,
He
I'll
does.
be honest.
So
I don't see it the way. Look.
On top of everything,
Because
I
I've seen prime Kane. Look, Kane was back in, I don't remember, back in 18, 19 when Tottenham was really competing in the league. Man, Kane was he was mad. He was overall like doing everything, passing, distribution, controlling the game, scoring. Man, Kane was amazing, and unfortunately he had. Huh? I know you're talking about right now, but I'm saying I've seen even prime Kane. Like I think Kane is still good. He's still, don't get me wrong, he's still excellent player. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Don't get me wrong, but right now, if I'm having a choice between Haaland and Kane, I would choose Haaland with all due respect. I mean, to Kane.
all due respect, I'm taking Harry Kane, bro. I've seen enough for my club. You get me?
You're biased because he's playing.
It's not even about no. Wallahi, I think inside bias, inside modal bias. By the way, because I can say Mbappe has been doing unreal for Real Madrid too. The point is, is the fact he's scoring and he's defending and he's creating chances at rates like I'm not. By the way, last season, if you've seen me, I've been saying Harry Kane was sluggish. I actually thought when they placed him in Ballon d'Or 13th place, it was awful. I think he should have been rated lower, like as in like worse than 13th. So you can't do this thing of me being biased. You can't.
That's fine, man. But I think right now, I think you're watching too much Kane. Maybe I'm not watching Kane that much to not rate him that highly.
More than you watch Madrid. And,
yes, and he's not like an Arsenal player, so I can't have that kind of agenda or something. But anyways, I mean, we'll see at the end of the season who will actually be the best striker. I think Haaland is gonna be him and Mbappe with in a country mile. Man, there's gonna be a huge gap between Haaland and Kane. I think it's gonna happen like that. But we'll see. I'll say at the end of the season how it ends. Shall we move on from City?
Yeah.
Because really, there's not much to say, man. They dominated the game in the second half. They controlled the game, and they got 3 points easy for them. And they are 3 points away. We're going to talk about the table at the end of this podcast. But now, hello, Arsenal, man. Big up the Gunners. We won 1-0. Okay, it's not a big deal. It's not something huge. It's not something... But, Fulham gave us tough times in the couple of past seasons where we couldn't really get any points from them, and now we won against them 1-0. I'm so happy with that. However, now here's the but. Here's the but coming. The but saying here is, I think the performance in the first half was not really that convincing. I mean, when you have, and Calafiore was the best player for me in the first half, but in the second half, Saka was the best player. However, set piece again. Ole. We score from a set piece again. And people are hating because Arsenal scoring from set piece. I couldn't care less how we score. I'm going to repeat. I don't give a shit how we score.
But you're doing your job.
I don't care. If you score, you score. Penalty, set piece, foul, open play. I really couldn't care
I'm
less.
saying you're doing your job. Don't get it twisted.
However, some players, I have to give them the stick. And I'm gonna start with Gyökeres. Gyökeres had a couple of chances. He couldn't really finish his dinner, and that's kind of concerning for me. You know, it's really concerning for me from Gyökeres because he has those chances. Because I said at the beginning he didn't have a lot of chances created for him. However, now I'm seeing a lot of chances are giving to him, and he's not able to put the ball in the back of the net, which is concerning for me as an Arsenal fan, because we bought him because of his crazy tally last season where he's scoring in average a goal per game, but he's not doing that now, and it's kind of worrying me. And the second thing I'm gonna say, the good part now here, I finished with the negative. The positive part is we didn't concede any shots on target for a second game in a row, and that didn't happen since 03-04, and that was the invincible season where we won the league. So it's a good thing that we can replicate this now. I'm not saying it means anything, but it's something to demonstrate that our defense is really good and really solid. And one last thing before I pass the mic to you, Zir, is we got 9 points out of Fulham, Newcastle, West Ham. You think those names are not really big names in the Premier League, but we struggled with those teams. Last season, we got 1 point. 1 point from those 3 games, and now we got 9 points, and I think that's really helping us a lot, man. I think this is a season where Arteta is found out his mistake, and now he's rectifying, especially against those teams, West Ham, Newcastle. It's fine. We lost against Liverpool. We drew against Man City, but against those teams where we're expected to win, we are winning by any means necessary. The mic is yours. Tell me, what do you think? I agree, man. I agree with him, man.
Bro, listen, I'll be real. Yeah, you're just doing your job while others suffer. Hey, listen, I agree, Hano. We do. We do need to humble these guys, but we will get there at the end of November. Now now we're in the end of October, so in 1 month we'll be back talking about this. Listen, in regards to your team, you're just doing your thing. Obviously you guys could do a bit more going forward in general. Let's not lie. Because Arteta is hit and miss when it comes to being more progressive. However, you're getting results while others are suffering, if you know what I mean. So that's all you can do right now. You know what I mean? You get 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, and you move. You only lost to Liverpool 1-0 from a free kick. And that's about it. And all this after you had a pretty good window, which not many people talked about as much, in my opinion, because obviously people are more focused on the scums that have the same amount of Champions Leagues as I do. They wanted to focus on them, and we all did. So obviously you weren't as talked about. Now look, you're just cooking like Man City are in silence. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I need to address few things. Stoke FC or Stoke 2.0. I don't care. I know. I told you this many times. I don't care. And now you are telling me you are so good defensively that it's very annoying. I recall Chelsea being so freaking good at defense that you're still holding the record in the Premier League. I think, was it 12 goals? So you were really good defensively, and that's what got you the trophies at the beginning. So when we are good now,
but Sammy, okay, maybe I don't know about you, but there is a lot of Arsenal fans that complained when they did the same thing. That's why they're using it again. It's like واحدة بواحدة زي ما نقول, فهمت?
Chelsea have the most set pieces this season. Wow, is that true? Waffled on.
It's actually true, bro. I hope this is not some Nasabi take, bro.
If that's true, man, I'm gonna go crazy on Hano here and say, well, what are you talking about, Stoke 2.0, bro? Oh man.
Well, if he said Wallah, we have to believe.
Hold on. Hano, you need to answer this. You need to answer this crime. You're talking about Stoke FC or Stoke 2.0.
I trust my Muslim brothers, yeah?
And Waffledon here is saying that Chelsea have the most set pieces goals this season. So how do you respond to that? Or it's just because we...
I'm not gonna lie. If man said Wallah, man, that means he must have checked his information.
Yes, man. I believe Waffledon, man. He knows this shit, bro. He's not gonna come here. But, from set piece away from home. What is this? The guy's twisting facts, man, and twisting stats. But anyways,
But it's Hano. Why are you shocked?
and the guy just hates Arsenal. But man, listen, I'm so happy for the win, and that puts us on top of the league. And we're gonna talk about the hot topic, and which is breaking the internet right now, which is Liverpool versus Manchester United. Okay, this game, man, this game. And I told you this game. I even spoke to you on the phone, and I told you I watched the game.
Yeah, we talked about it.
We were gonna talk about even more here and deeper a little bit, and go deeper in terms of tactical analysis and breakdown. However, man, I was screaming when Harry Maguire scored that goal, man. I was so happy that I forgot that I was surrounded by people, and people started looking at me funny. You know, Harry Maguire scored, and everybody's like, "What the hell, man?" And they thought I was a Man U fan. And when I told them, and I told them I'm an Arsenal fan, and they was like, "Okay, it still makes sense," you know, because I was watching it on my phone, right? And I was like, you know,
yeah, I know. Yeah, you put it on your treadmill.
Yeah, yes. I put it in the treadmill. I was watching it, and everybody just came in and was saying, "Well, what's happening? What's happening?" You know, I was like, "Man, Man United, Liverpool. What do you mean, what's happening?" But anyways, talking about the game, you know, an early goal by Mbuemo, scored at minute 1. However, there was an injury from McAllister. It was a head injury. The game, I think, was supposed to stop as per the letter of the law. Is if there's any head injury or the goalkeeper injury, the game needs to be stopped. However, it's been ruled out that the ref said he didn't see it. Whatever the case is, the game didn't stop. Mbuemo scored, and that's that. And then the best player, in my opinion, in that game from Liverpool side. I mean, they were all shit. Don't get me wrong. Believe me, they were shit. If you watch the game, they are absolute shit. Rubbish. Gravenberch, Isak, Salah, everybody was shit. And Van Dijk even was worse than them. But the only player that was trying is Gakpo. Gakpo was trying. He hit the post twice. He scored the equalizer, right? Other than that, all Liverpool players were really, really bad. Really, really bad, man. Really bad. Isak is not convincing. And then Maguire scored at the end. Minute 84 was, 84. It was 84. And now Liverpool are 4 games losses in a row, 3 in the Premier League, back to back to back. And tell me your thoughts.
I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I really disagree with is the guy. Even though he was trying, he was shit as well.
Okay,
I'll tell you why.
Can you expand on that? Yeah,
I'll tell you why, bro. Because yes, he put himself in positions. However, the amount of times he missed these opportunities could have been the difference between them winning and losing. Let's not lie, Sammy. That was the difference. If you can't be that clinical, bro, it's like one time hitting the post, you're like, okay, maybe unlucky, get another time. So, generally speaking. Second time, bro, when he scored that goal, the massive spicy team, okay, he's taking this. Okay? The time he scored, he nearly hit the post there, come on. So I'm like, okay, yes, you scored great. But at the same time, you're lucky that you even got it into the back of the net.
Okay.
You know? So my thing is, yes, he was, making things happen. I agree with you 100%, alaqal. But that doesn't change the fact that he wasn't great.
I'm saying he was the best player from Liverpool. Does not mean he was great.
And
he was the best of the worst,
The bar is low. And the bar is low.
The bar is low. I'm not saying the bar is there. I'm saying the bar is low. So I'm comparing Gakpo to the Liverpool players. So if I'm comparing Gakpo to the Liverpool players, he was their best player. What are you talking about? I'm not saying Gakpo was phenomenal.
I never said he's not there. Wasn't their best player on the day. But at the same time, that doesn't change the fact that he wasn't also great either.
Yeah, but I started by saying that all Liverpool players were really bad. So obviously the bar is low, or the reference here is quite low, right?
Anyway, besides the point. Maybe we agree with misunderstand, whatever. المهم
Semantics.
Liverpool were absolutely dead, bro. Like Isak,
There.
by the way, 150, what was it, 130 M's, whatever it is, that cost him. He should have scored. If you remember what I'm on about, the one that Lament saved.
Twice, Waffle Down. He hit twice.
Yeah, Gakpo. Or Gakpo.
Gakpo, man. That's crazy, bro. Gakpo. Yeah, man. But I don't know, man. I mean, Liverpool, and I said it before, even when they were winning, when they won like 5 games in a row, and I said it even on my Twitter, I said Liverpool were running their luck because of those performances, and people jumped on me like mad. They were like, "What you're saying? You don't understand football and this and that," and they were swearing at me. Who's laughing now? I'm telling you, ran your luck because even the wins you had were not really that convincing. So it's not something crazy or mad for me to say that. And people say, "No, you don't really understand football." But man, and now when the luck ran out and the well is dry, there's no more, nowhere actually to drill anymore. I mean, even the rig just packed up and just, mobilized and demobilized, say, it's not happening. It's not happening, bro. It's not happening.
Yeah,
but final thoughts before we move on. Do you think, last question, do you think Man United won because they were good, or do you think they won because Liverpool were bad?
I think it's a mixture of both. I thought United were decent. Not gonna lie to you, bro. I thought the likes of Luke Shaw held his own, Maguire held his own. Lemens was brilliant. I think he was man of the match. And then, I mean, the midfield, Bruno, other than the assist, was dead. Casemiro did pretty well for what his role is, which is to be a defensive midfielder. You know what I mean?
Hannah, share the next games, man. Share the next games for them. Let's see. Because I only have for the whole Premier League. Yeah.
And then obviously Amad Diallo was brilliant as well, in my personal opinion. That's somebody we have to talk about. I feel like that brother doesn't get talked about enough because obviously he plays for Man United, and Man United have been in dead form. But realistically, that guy is unreal. Let's not lie.
I think he's getting used to the right wing back role because
he did it well. And he did it well.
And I also told when I was in a show with Hanno and the lads from Oris TV, I think, and I told them, "Do you think, guys, you should move Buemo out and play Amad Diallo? Because I think Amad Diallo is good, and sometimes I think he's even better than Buemo. However, I think due to seniority and all that and the price tag that they pay, that's why they're playing Buemo."
Yeah, it's just one of those, man. But the thing is, Mbuemo had a good game as well. That's the thing. So, also, by the way, my center back that should have never been sold, De Ligt, W performance. You get me? I hope now people are seeing why I say he's one of the better defenders in the world if he's at the right club, i.e. my club.
He played very well, to be honest. He played very well. I'll be fair. He did play very well.
We should have never sold that guy, by the way. Imagine him next to Opa right now. Hey, under company. It could have been madness. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, regardless, I think Man United done okay, but Liverpool just... Again, remember when we did our show, Sammy, and I told you, why isn't Slot starting Frimpong? Why? Realistically, I had this conversation with Footy Reacts. He's a Liverpool fan. I literally told him the ideal starting 11 for them. Realistically, could you imagine? I know Szoboszlai ain't, or was it with touch? I don't know. But imagine Szoboszlai may not be great, right? But he does cover for whatever deficiency that Frimpong has. At least he could. Why don't they try that? Why don't they try a whole Szoboszlai, maybe McAllister in the midfield, and then you put Frimpong right back? Because Bradley is not that guy. I know he had a good game against Mbappe, and they're trying to cling on to that fact. But come on, you can't use one performance as a metric now. That's basically like what happened last season when you beat Madrid. Everyone's like, "Oh, look, they can rise free kick. This." You know what I mean? And then you lost to PSG. It's the same shit. You can't just cling on to one thing.
Is Is this Liverpool's?
Yeah. They play
match
Frankfurt
schedule.
at Deutsche Bank Arena next in the Champions League.
Brentford, Palace, Villa, Madrid City. Damn, man, what a schedule, bro.
By the way,
way,
I think the way Liverpool are going, Madrid slapped them.
yeah, man, definitely. If they play like this, if they got slapped by Galatasaray, man, what do you think Madrid will do?
بيجلدهم بيدمرهم تدمير مو طبيعي, bro.
Yes,
Play
man. Obviously, if they
play
continue
like
playing
this.
like this,
لا.
I totally agree, man. With you, man. You know, Madrid is gonna is gonna batter them, bro.
مو
If they play
منطقي
like this.
التدمير اللي بيصير bro.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be devastating, you know, honestly. But I think you know, Slots has a conundrum in hand, a big conundrum. He needs to fix up, tactically speaking, because when all your players are playing bad, then you have to turn your head in towards the manager and say, what the hell are you doing? You cannot have 7, 8 players playing awful and really bad and say it's because of individual players. You gotta look at the coach and say, what the hell's going on? Your tactics are not working. So you have to change something. I mean, something has to change in Liverpool, the way they play, change position, change players. The combination of players that you're playing are not working out together. I don't know. I mean, I even heard a little bit of Hussam what he's saying, and I hear him. He say, if you're gonna play Isak, play Verts, right? If you're gonna play this, play this. So he's giving his opinion from a fan perspective, but eventually the coach is the guy who's gonna, you know, put the formation and the players or the starting 11. But whatever he's doing right now, it ain't working. I don't know.
I can hear what Hussam is saying, because obviously both Ekitike and Verts, they like to facilitate for others. They don't like to.
Yeah.
Whereas Isak, he wants to make the. Actually, he does facilitate at times, but he likes to also make runs in behind. So it's easier to play him and Verts together, you know. But I think they have a bigger problem than that. Because you also want to try to get the best out of Mohamed Salah. How do you get the best out of that guy? You have to play the guy that overlaps, so the other can actually cut inside more often. At least he has more space to do it, especially when Salah isn't as gifted as a winger should be. You know what I mean? And what I mean by winger, I mean talent-wise. So, yeah, it's one of those, man. It really is one
Can
of
I
those.
tell you what I think, what Liverpool issue is?
What do you think?
First of all, Salah and Van Dijk and Alisson. Those are, let's say, your experienced players, your winners, right?
Yes.
Especially Van Dijk and Salah. From what I've seen now, these players are regressing. And that's not because they're bad players, just because, you know, the factor of age. They are reaching to an age where an average player would start dipping in terms of form. And that's normal in the world of football. There's nothing crazy to say. Salah has, at 34 or whatever his age is not like Salah at 28, right? Or 27 years old. And that's like the prime years of any player, usually. And I think they're hitting like the trajectory of player, right? The players with trajectory goes up there somewhere and then like a small plateau and then there's a dip. That's the normal trajectory of any player, usually, right? I'm saying an average. And I think they're reaching to that level where you're going to see now a dip in form. Salah is not going to put the same numbers as before. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't rate Salah. Salah is a good player, but I don't think he's going to put numbers like he did before. This is the first problem. The second problem is you brought 5 players. And let me name those players for you. You brought Frimpong, you brought Kerkez, you brought Ekitike, Isak, and Verts. And all 5 players you're trying to integrate into the first team. So that's basically half of the team if you exclude the goalkeeper. So you're trying to integrate 5 players into another 5 players and mush them up and say it will work out. So that's very, very difficult to do because, you know, the communication, the understanding between the players and all that, it needs time to form, right, as a team.
That's a good point, to be fair.
You know, and that's an issue in any football club. You cannot bring 5, 6 players and expect them all to start and start banging. It doesn't happen like that in football. Maybe for example, for me, you should have gotten either Isak or Ekitike. and it should be enough. And it
Yeah,
should
but
call it a
obviously
game.
Liverpool were greedy because of the whole drama with Newcastle, and it was a whole qissa. You know, to be fair, you bring a good point because it actually makes you realize that even though we demand a lot from our club,
Mm.
at the same time, you also have to consider like these guys are also human beings. So like when part of being a human, it's like you have to also have the communication aspect to it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I know. I'm saying that he. If you look at the beginning of the season, he tried to shoehorn everybody, and it's not working out for him.
You know what,
So
Hano, I have to say, I think Sammy makes a good point, bro. Because you have to think about it. It's like each different game, he's playing different players, right? It's like, you know what it is? He's like in a scientific lab nowadays, right now. He's in a scientific lab and he's trying like
well,
different
that process is
chemistry,
called
like
trial and
combination
error.
of which solution works. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's
that process is called trial and error, right?
but that's
And
the
the problem.
process that he's in. I have to be real, but that's what happens when you spend that much money and you don't get the best out of them. Now you're getting cooked for it because you wasted all that money. The thing, but listen, I'm not gonna act like they shouldn't have done it because they should have. But at the same
I
time,
understand,
I
but
think
they should have done
overdone
it.
They
They
overdone
should have done it. Yeah, exactly. They overdone it, and we don't know if slots can actually. Ekitike was their style better at the moment. I agree with you. Ekitike is banging actually better than Isak right now. However, I think we haven't seen Slot. You know, that type of man. I'll give you an example. If I compare, for example, Slot with Pep Guardiola, for instance, you know, Pep, for example, is used to you know, playing with a lot of superstars, right? He comes from Barcelona, he comes from Bayern Munich, he's coming from City, and he knows how to utilize those players wherever he sees fit in the pitch. Where Slot, we haven't seen him do it in a high level, right? He came from from the Dutch league, and then he came to Liverpool and he won it. Fair, I'm gonna give him that. He won the league with Klopp's team, right? And now you're putting your team, your players that you agreed to, and you're unable to get something out of it.
But you know what it is, though, Sammy? To be fair, even Pep Guardiola had his phase of like.
See, even Waffledon agrees, man.
They call it shoehorning the expensive play. Yeah. No, I understand that. But obviously, when you cost so much money, they're gonna have to try to fit you into the team. But then here's the problem. With the case of Ekitike and Isak, like if he was to shoehorn them both in, that would mean one of them would have to go left wing instead of Gakpo. Because you're not gonna bench Salah. You know, that's the problem. So it's like now you have to bench one. But this is what I mean.
Unless you play like a 4-4-2.
But realistically, that is unless if Slot is willing to change his style of play, then go be my guest. But again, like he just overdone it. Not he, but the board overdone it in the window, and now Slot is having to work with it. Now, again, probably Slot has a lot to do with it. I do not know. That's something for Liverpool fans, for them to tell me. It's just I don't know, man. Like, yes, fans want clubs to spend, but that doesn't mean you go spend so much on one position, 2 players for what around 200 million. You know, that's technically the same as what PSG did with Neymar and Mbappe, right? Just in a lesser scale. You're deep in that.
Honestly, look, I'm gonna be honest. For me, what what's happening to Liverpool right now, it's kind of, you know, I would say weird, to be honest, because you have all these good players, all these really, really talented players, because we all know what Isak is about, right? We all know what Isak is about. He was hot top property in the whole of Europe. Everybody was praising Isak and saying probably he was the best striker, arguably, in the whole world. And unfortunately, when he went to Liverpool, I watched Salahwa and what's his name? Hamza said something, man, that made me crazy, man. It made me laugh. He said they sold him a charger without they sold him an iPhone without a charger.
No,
that was crazy, man, to say. I mean, and to be honest, rightfully so, because look at look at Newcastle now. They bought with that money Voltemada, and Voltemada is banging. Did you see his last goal?
Actually,
the back heel
no.
one.
Wallahi,
Oh
I
man,
actually,
you gotta see it. You gotta see the goal
let
from
me see if I
Voltemada.
can. Let me see if I can find it right now as you're speaking.
Man, it was an amazing goal, man. Amazing goal by Voltemada, you know. And I've never seen Isak score such goals, you know, to be fair.
Bro, I told you that Voltemada is kind of talented for his height, man.
Yeah, he is. He is, you know, he is, to be honest.
Well, for the
However,
German national team, he's been poor. I do not know why, but anyway. Anyway, I'm seeing it now. He's in the green shirt, right, against Brighton. Oh,
yeah, I think did you see it?
oh shit! Wait, pause. Oh shoot! Now that's slick. That's slick.
Yeah, man, shit, that goal was amazing, man, from Voltemada. To be honest, I think Newcastle, you know, did a really good job in terms of recruitment, and even the hits that they lost Isak is not really impacting them as a team, and I think they've
I
done
think they just
really good.
pounced on an opportunity, bro. Because remember, like they were still looking at different strikers, but then obviously they saw that Voltemada couldn't join Bayern, so they said, you know what, we have the funds, we'll just give Stuttgart what they want, and they got him. So it's basically them rectifying their issues, is what I would say, you know. But hey, fair play to them. Fair play to them.
Yeah. Anyways, anything you want to say about the game before we move on? I know this is like the hottest, you know, topic that we could discuss, which is Liverpool drop. You know, I'm happy that they drop points. That gives us
So am I, bro. So am I,
more.
bro.
I mean,
I'm gonna lie.
it expands the gap between us, you know, and humbles them a bit. You know, people are saying that we're gonna win the league, we're gonna win everything. The last game, look, I'm gonna skim through it so fast because I honestly didn't watch it and I couldn't care less. And it's a shit team anyway, which is Spursy. Spursy lost. What a shock!
Oh wow.
Spursy
wow.
lost, and you know they are, even though they started really good, they scored a goal, but Imri with his team managed to score 2 goals and get the 3 points from the top of their head. And I think, man, Tottenham. I mean, nobody's saying they are contenders, but they were, you know, in the top 4 here and there. So I'm for me, any team that drops from the top 4 or loses, I'm happy. And Tottenham was one of those teams, and especially the rivalry between us as you know, as Arsenal and against Spurs. So I'm happy they lost, and I hope it continues. In terms of what really happened in the game, the only highlights I've seen is the the right back from Aston Villa, the pass into what was it, Dini or something like that, and he controlled it and passed it to Bondia, and man, that goal was really good. But the goal came really from that pass. It was a half volley pass that really took them out of, you know, out of surprise, and it was a sneaky one, man. And they ended the game, man. Nothing really to mention here except that Spurs are Spurs, and I hope it may it continue. I hope it continues with them like this, man. I hope they go all the way to the bottom of the table for all I care. Do you have anything to say about them?
My only thing is Matisse Tell. I thought you said you had a conversation with Harry Kane and learned a lot from him, bro. What's going on, man?
Also, Colomani came in, by the way.
Yeah, bro. I thought man said, because there was, by the way, he did say, I think in some interview, that he's been talking to Harry Kane on the phone, bro. This is, bro. Listen, I didn't watch, but I would imagine he didn't play good, because Spurs fans always tell me, well, what did you sell us? Tell he's shit. He's this. He's that. You know what I mean? And we sold him for
do you regret selling it, Tell, or you didn't really rate the player?
I mean, I actually wanted to keep him because I think he could have been an extra piece into our puzzle, bro. I really did.
I see.
But I did always warn people, especially some Spurs fans that I knew, like, he was always not gonna be doing good if he did not improve in his physicality. Because, listen, Bundesliga may have an element of it, but the difference, I think, because, well, by the way, the physicality difference in Bundesliga and Premier League, it's there. It's basically, in the Bundesliga, you're pressing, so you have to do more running, right? But and like sometimes you have to work hard defensively.
You're saying more space to cover? Is that what you're saying?
So I'm saying you have to press more. You have to press more, like, you know what I mean? You have to work harder. However, in the Premier League, when you have the ball, you have to be more reactive because you get little space compared to, you know what I mean? Whereas because in the Bundesliga there's so much pressing going on, there's more space.
From what I've seen, yeah, there are a lot of spaces that gives the players.
Yeah, but that's because
because
there's usually pressing going on. So like when you were getting pressed, you're able to hit them in the counter attack for the most part. But
if there is a press, that should, you know, the spaces shouldn't be there.
Yeah, obviously there are obviously at times, yeah, but I'm saying like going forward in the Premier League, when you're attacking, you don't have as much space. صح? When you're attacking. But when you're defending, whereas in the Bundesliga, when you're defending, you don't have as much space because of the pressing. The opposition's pressing you.
Even the Premier League.
Yeah, okay, but it's not as much, bro. I feel like in the Premier League, there's more.
I think it's actually more, Zero, and that's, I think, one of the main reasons why, for example, Verts didn't really bang on in the Premier League, because it's the press is too hard. You know, they come into you fast and so physical. And I think that's why.
But Verts is not doing it from his half. He's doing it from the opposition half. I'm saying when you're with the ball in your own half.
Maybe, but
so like for a defender, if you're a defender, okay,
right,
like you're a defender playing out from the back.
Okay.
You're a defender playing out from the back. Teams press you, so now you have less space. But then you have more space if you're able to be press resistant to hit in transition. There's more space to attack from. That's why usually runners benefit in the Bundesliga. The guys that have pace and have good fit, they usually benefit because there's more space. There's obviously there are times.
Okay. I got your point now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
whereas in the Premier League, you're playing it a bit more slow, but the defenders, they're basically making sure that when you're in their half, there's no space.
Okay. So, anything you say about Spurs? Yeah. No. I did understand. Yeah. That's why, like the likes of Primbong, that's why they really flourished in that league. However, now, since we concluded all the matches in the Premier League, this is how the table looks like. I'm going to bring in the picture. There you go. So, Arsenal sitting on top, 19 points. City second, 16 points. Liverpool are 15 points, third. Bournemouth, 15th. So they're sitting third, equal with Liverpool. So this is how the table looks like now after week number 8. So for me now, the main concern, Liverpool are still contenders for me, don't get me wrong. But I think City won. Also, they're really, scary coming from behind. And why I'm saying this, because I've been traumatized by City. We were ahead of them by I don't remember, like 8-9 points, and yet they managed to catch up with us.
You guys didn't do your jobs at the end. Now, if you continue,
obviously. And Nottingham Forest, sitting all the way at the bottom. Them and West Ham, they're probably going to be relegated. I had as my prediction to have Wolves, Burnley, and what was it for me? Wolves, Burnley, and another team. I forgot who. But anyways, so this is what the table looks like. Man United, can you imagine? Manchester United are how many points?
2 points behind Liverpool.
Damn, man. Look, the league is looking really tough. If you look from the 3rd position all the way to the 11th position, anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. There's like a 2-3 points gap there. So any win, loss there can shift you from 10th to I don't know, 4th or vice versa. So I think the league is looking really, really close this season. And Arsenal are not really that far from the 2nd and 3rd. We're like 4 points away from Liverpool and 3 points away from City. So what do you think after this match week 8? Who do you think is the favorite now, Zir? Did that change for you?
To win the league?
Yes.
Well, I actually don't know, man. I mean, if Liverpool play like this, but then again, I don't know if they will
As
fix
things stands, we never know. Maybe they will fix up, maybe not. But as
I
things
won't. I
stand,
won't say. I don't want to say favorites because I want to try to maintain energy unless something drastic happens. So like obviously, if you want favorite, I'll still say Liverpool, but because I think they might fix it. However, let's say they don't fix it, then yeah, probably your City. But I don't know. I'll be real, it's tough.
okay. So the previous, I would say, guess for me was I put Liverpool as favorites before, and Arsenal as second, and City as third, Chelsea as fourth. That was my prediction, I would say, for the league. And I'm not gonna change it yet. But if Liverpool draw or loses next game, I'm gonna say that we are favorites. Even though City are City and Pep is Pep, but I think we have enough of a squad depth, enough of good players to actually get over the line this time. And if we don't, then we bottled it, and I think Arteta should leave.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens, but yeah, man. That's about it, really.
Yeah, and the last thing we're gonna talk about is the upcoming games. This is week number 9, right?
Ooh.
Chelsea against Sunderland, United versus Brighton, Brentford versus Liverpool. That's a very tough one. Even though I think Brentford is not really looking good this season. Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, and Aston Villa versus City. Do you think there are going to be any surprises next week? Or do you think all the big teams are going to win? And of course, Everton versus Spurs.
Looking at these, I think your game is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, Crystal Palace are good. That's true.
Chelsea, Sunderland, maybe them making it difficult for themselves. Same with United and Brighton. Who's City? Where's City? Who's City playing?
Aston Villa.
That's a low key tough game.
Yeah, and it's going to be at Aston Villa's.
Liverpool realistically should do Brentford, but I don't know, man. Their form is stinky.
So, do you think there's going to be any surprises next week, or do you think?
Probably. I mean, maybe Brighton, if that's surprising. I don't know.
So you think Brighton are going to win in Old Trafford?
I mean, they've done it before. That's why I'm saying maybe.
I mean, they picked up form, and the confidence is high with Amorim, and the first back-to-back wins for Amorim.
Yeah, I know, but you know how Man United move. They do good in these games, and then they go back to. So we'll see. So if I had to pick, it's that game. Maybe Liverpool, Brentford, but even then, I don't know what's gonna happen by then.
So
something has got to give. That's all I'm gonna say. Something's got to give.
So you're saying Chelsea are gonna win, whatever the score is. United probably gonna drop points, whatever it's a draw or a loss. Liverpool, you think they're gonna maybe drop points because of their form?
Maybe they'll make a 1-goal win or something. Liverpool.
And for Arsenal, I'm assuming you believe they will win, but the tough one. And also City will win, even if it's a tough one. And what about Spurs? Do you think they will win or draw or what?
Oh, they'll probably lose. They need Harry Kane, bro. They need the best player in the world.
Oh, man. To be honest, low-key, man, I think you had a brilliant signing there by Kane. And it was relatively cheap to get such a player.
I mean, we paid 100. I mean, actually 95 million. It turns out. And then obviously there's
wasn't it like $68 million or something like that?
No, so it was so initially it was supposed to be like 100 million euros with 20 million add-ons, but then it turns out that 100 initially being paid was 95.
So it's 95 plus 20 add-ons.
Probably yes.
I thought it was less. No, I think it's less. Zero.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fact check this.
Fact check. We signed him for like 95.
Right. So Bayern. Let's see.
What site do you use?
Well, it's just Google here, man. Yeah, it says 110 mil.
تفضل.
I honestly thought it was less. I'm gonna be honest.
No.
But anyways, do you think it was worth the money?
I mean, listen, let's see what he does this season despite his unreal form. I mean,
Come on,
so
just
far,
let me-
he's getting the trophy
You
drought.
fraud! You just told me he's better than Haaland, and now
Yeah, but no. We're talking based on performance on the football pitch. What, can we not talk about the performance on the football pitch so far?
Okay, fair enough, bro. But I think
Hey, listen, I was
you gave him the
criticizing him
biggins
last
and all
year.
that.
I'm just giving him praise because he deserves the praise.
Okay, that's fair. Fairs. We'll see. Anyways, I think that will be it for the AAR, the after action review for the Premier League. Tomorrow, Champions League for Arsenal. When is your Champions League, bro?
Wednesday we play Club Brugge at home.
Okay, that should be an easy one.
Not that easy to be. I heard that they're doing decent, but we will win. Don't worry, we will.
Yeah, come on. So a little bit of
Who do
chest.
you play? Atletico Madrid. Are you slapping them?
No,
Or is
we're
it
not
gonna
gonna
be
slap.
as
No, we're
well?
not gonna slap them. No, I think
So
we're
when
gonna
I
win.
say we're not gonna slap,
No, I think we're gonna win.
But when I said in the Der Classic, it won't
Yeah,
be.
but you're
Well, it
comparing
turned out
Club
wasn't
Brugge
easy.
to Atletico Madrid. What the fuck, man?
No, but like, okay. You say okay, Basami, you're looking at the name. Actually, like based on what they've been doing themselves, you have to give a little respect.
What kind of respect should I give Club Brugge? Forgive me.
I don't know. They're doing good in their league. I know that you don't care, but yeah, you have to give them a little bit of respect. Yeah, you have a little humility about yourself. You get me? You see, this is the problem with Premier League fans, man. There's no humility. No humility, and then when they get
No, I'm
to the
sorry.
European stage,
I'm not
they normally crumble.
I'm not gonna sit here and praise Belgian league or whatever, man. Are you crazy?
Okay. It doesn't matter about what league. It matters about what they do on the pitch, bro.
It's even that. What did they do?
I don't know. They're winning games. Apparently, that's all. Listen. We'll probably beat them. We'll probably beat them because we have more quality. That's fine for me to say. But
Okay,
I'm not okay. Well, what if they turn up on the day? Now what?
you should beat them. I mean, you're superior.
Oh
to
no,
them.
we should. Oh no. If they turn up on the day,
Especially
but we have
at your
to get over
home.
it. No, but obviously, if they turn up on the day, we have to overcome it and win. Listen, don't get it twisted. If they don't win, bro, we won 2-1 against Dortmund, and I was still annoyed that we made it difficult for ourselves. Don't think I'm not critical with my guys, bro. See, over here,
that's fine. That's fine, man. But for me, against Atletico Madrid, I think we're gonna win. Look, I'm showing some chest. I think we're gonna win, and I think it's gonna be a 2-0 win.
Yeah, and if you make the game difficult for yourselves, are you gonna actually call out the fact that you made it difficult for yourself? You'll be like, "Oh, we just won! Yay!"
If we won, look, man, we just won against Fulham, but I pointed out where I think we have room for improvement. I think Gyökeres was not really that great. I think he needs to finish his dinner. I think he needs to score more. I told you in the first half we didn't really look so good, and I'm being honest with you. But am I happy with the win? Obviously, I'm happy with the 3 points. Clearly,
I never said don't be happy. All I said is while you can be happy and still.
But still, I'm winning, and I'm criticizing my team in certain areas. It can go,
then you're doing the right
hand in
thing.
hand.
Yes. Okay, Khas, you're doing the
And
right
I think
thing.
if we win against Atletico Madrid, if it was hit and run and we win 1-0, and something or another set piece, I'm gonna criticize the team and say, okay, we need to improve in the open play. We need to do this, but I'm gonna celebrate the win. Definitely.
Adil Mumtaz, we're on the same page.
Yeah, bro. But anyways, man, Zir, as usual, man. Guys, subscribe to Zir Talks, man. The channel will be in the description. And thank you very much, Zir, for joining. As usual, you're always honored guest here. And any final words you would like to give before we end the stream?
Final words. Thanks for having me, of course. And also, number 2, stay tuned for something new happening on our show moving forward. That's one thing I will say. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
All right, bro. All the best, man. Thanks here. And guys, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and comment. Let us know about what you guys think about the games. If you have a different opinion, let us know. And cheers.